One of Disney's most recent successful 3D animated movies were Encanto, which was originally released in 2021, and with one of its original songs going viral, the movie seems to gain even more popularity. However, box office success does not equate to a good movie, just as how low revenue doesn't determine a movie's quality. I know I'm late to the party, but I finally sat down and gave Encanto a watch to see if it truly is a good movie and deserving of all the praise it seemingly had received. By the way, hi, and welcome to my channel. Let me start off by saying this. I had fun watching this movie, but the thumbnail/title is not a clickbait. Although I enjoyed the movie as it was playing, by the time it neared its end, I realized how little had happened in the movie and how many loose threads were left when it did end. To explain some of this, I'll have to go through some key moments from the movie, so there will be many spoilers for the story ahead. So yeah, the movie starts off really strong. It breaks down the story of how a magic-possessing family came to be and how the family's descendants' power awakened. All the family members live in this magic sentient house, and because of their magical power, the family is now a prominent, powerful, and relied upon family in their own town. In one of those early scenes, probably my favorite scene in the movie, a party was thrown, as presumably is traditional for the family, to celebrate one of them gaining their power. The party was for the youngest in the family, but when it was his time to unlock his new room, which in turn unlock his new power, he hesitates and calls on the main character to accompany him up to his new room. When she does, we get overlapping and matching glimpses of flashbacks to the time when she went up the stairs to get to her new room. Here, it was revealed that when she twisted the doorknob of the room that was meant for her, the door disintegrated and she gained no power, making her the only one of her family who doesn't have any power. The other scenes establishing the personalities of the different family members and the dynamic between them weren't as impactful. After all, they weren't the main character, though they were fun and ADHD-esque. In most of those, the characters were in the previously mentioned sentient house, and very few of those scenes had the characters out in town. The town is really just a backdrop. 90% of the movie takes place inside the house, so there's no let's go on an adventure moment here. Anyways, back to the story. While the party was still going, the protagonist leaves the room where the party was taking place and walks into the house's garden area. She notices cracks appearing and spreading through the house's structure and sees a section of the house's roof crumble. She freaks out because I guess the family's power is somehow connected to the house and to this magical candle. She runs to get her family to see this, but of course, by the time they come to see it, the damage that she saw was no longer there, so they dismiss her and return to the party. Eventually, she goes to her uncle's room, still within the house, to seek the truth from him. Her uncle has the power to predict the future. His prediction always come true, and seemingly because his predictions were always negative, people didn't look at him favorably, and that's why he ran away. I don't know. The family doesn't like to bring him up or discuss him and shuts down anyone who does. That's why the main character had to sneakily go to his room without letting anyone know. She didn't find him, but instead, she found shattered pieces of a glowing stones. When she put the pieces together, it revealed a picture etched in them, showing her standing in front of the house, which appeared to have a huge crack across it. Skipping ahead, she finds a path that kind of leads to the in-between structure of the house, and that's where she finally finds him, Bruno, her uncle. It turns out he never left and was living in the walls, if you will. She brought up to him the picture that she put together, which was something he envisioned, and asked if he could foresee another path, something like a butterfly effect action so they can avoid the house's destruction. And a vision came to him showing the protagonist hugging her cousin. The two are not too fond of each other, so she's not too pleased about having to do this. After this, the movie story goes south. The main character's uncle's visions always come true, so although she begrudgingly went to her cousin, kinda made up with her and hugged it out, it was gonna happen anyway. And the other vision also came true. The house got destroyed. It should have been a powerful moment because as the house crumbled, the family's magical abilities started to weaken and they barely managed to escape. The house that they lived in all their life is now reduced to rubble, and all the family members have lost their magical abilities. Remember the vision that showed the protagonist in front of the house? Yeah, it was kind of a fake out. The protagonist doesn't play a factor in the house's destruction. She doesn't cause it, she doesn't make it worse, she doesn't make it better. And even after it happened, she didn't play a part in fixing it, like she didn't start the process. Instead, the townsfolk show up and they help the family build the house back. After they built it, everyone regains their power. The story came full circle. Nothing changed for the protagonist, not her personality nor her perspective, and only two characters really had some character development. That would be the grandma and Isabella. I liked Isabella's story, that's why she's the only one whose name stuck. She was supposed to marry some guy, but later she confided in her sister, or rather she blurted out how she was willing to go through with the marriage solely for her family's sake. At the end, she didn't marry him, but one other family member who have super hearing and can hear everything picked up the slack, i.e. Isabella's ex-husband-to-be, and she confessed to him. This girl with the super hearing was in love with him this whole time. She knows everything about him because she can hear everything. And she heard everything he says, like daily. He accepts this. Stalker love. How romantic. But hey, her story at least goes somewhere at the end of the movie, so I guess she counts as one of the characters who changed. And then Bruno, the hikikomori that the family doesn't want to discuss. After the house was destroyed, his sister noticed him, like them, near the rubble. They run to him and hug him. No questions asked, nothing of significance they had to say to him after all of this time. So yeah, why did people like this movie? I mean, I did love the songs. I liked the stories of both the grandma and Isabella. The movie's visuals were also great. Like for once, the characters' design were memorable and they didn't look horrendous like the rest of Disney's recent 3D models. But what's up with the story? It felt like something were tossed aside and then the story just ended. I think if you want good visuals and catchy songs, you could watch Encanto. But if you want good visuals, catchy songs, and a good, heartwarming, emotional story, just watch Coco. But how do you feel about this movie? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like the video if you like it. Bye bye.